Hello, everyone out there. This is J-Brad. This is your part. Oh, wait, J-Brad's not here today. So I guess it's just Stu and Stu. So I guess I'll try to keep you entertained today with my awesomeness, handsomeness, sexiness. But I think you're here for the NXT review for August 12th, 2015. But yeah, it was a pretty good show actually. I mean, it had squash matches like every NXT does. But for the most part, there was a bunch of good matches on the show. Well, I wouldn't say bunch, but two. So that's a new NXT record. I got home from the airport a little bit ago, and I was all pumped up because it was the Wednesday night of pro wrestling. And then I realized, with a drop of tear running down my eye, that Lucha Underground wasn't on tonight. Still gets me emotional. But, yeah, so I think you want to hear about NXT, so let's go. So, William Regal explained that it was going to be a ladder match at Brooklyn TakeOver, which, from what I hear, it's Finn Balor's first ever ladder match, which is crazy since he's been all over the world wrestling, and it's his first ladder match. But, I really want to watch Finn Balor and Kevin Owens go against each other again, because I didn't get to see their first match in Japan, because I was going to the beach that day, and I just saw when the Japanese people threw the things into the ring. It was pretty cool. It was probably the best moment from that special event, besides Kofi Kingston getting suplexed 15 times. But, yeah, I think this Brooklyn TakeOver is going to be good, besides the Baron Corbin match, which is going to suck balls. He can't wrestle to save his life. So Solomon Crowe went against Ty Dillinger, and from my understanding, Solomon Crowe's supposed to be a computer hacker who's a good guy, which, in the eyes of the government, that's not a good idea in any shape of the matter. So I don't know what they were thinking there, but Ty Dillinger seemed to be getting more over than Solomon Crowe was supposed to. I've only seen Ty Dillinger this one event, and I've seen Solomon Crowe a few times before, and it seemed like Ty Dillinger was doing really good with his gimmick of he was the perfect 10, and even sitting home at my couch, I thought that was a really cool gimmick. I would have been 10, 10, 10 after every single one of his moves if I was out there in the crowd. But he seemed really good. His wrestling was iffy, but when he hit that knee out of nowhere, it seemed like the Bad News Barrett Bullhammer, but with his knee, which I might be copying a little bit, but I thought his gimmick is phenomenal. He just needs to tighten up his wrestling skills. Solomon Crowe, I think it's over for him with this gimmick. He can somewhat wrestle, maybe. Just a little. No? Yeah, Ty Dillinger definitely needed this win. But, and then came the best match of the night. Maybe? No? Not at all? Okay. Baron Corbin versus local competitor, and Baron Corbin lost. Who would have? Yeah, he won. He won in 5 seconds, maybe. Baron Corbin just destroyed this nobody, and what after the match took longer than the actual match. So Baron Corbin said he can whatever end of days anyone in the locker room, and they won't get up, and this random guy who, I don't think he needed to do it to another guy to prove his point, but he hit the end of days on this random guy that ran out, and I thought they were going to have like 2 or 3 guys run out and then maybe have the big guy, but no, just Samoa Joe comes out, and Baron Corbin's beating him up. Well, they had a conversation on the microphone, which I really don't care what they have to say. Baron Corbin's trash. But, yeah. So, Samoa Joe was getting beat up, which was surprising since Baron Corbin just wrestled a match, or kind of a match, and he was beating Samoa Joe up. Then Samoa Joe got him in a headlock, maybe, and he made Baron Corbin pass out, which, okay, I get it, he's submission, pro, but for a guy to hit a headlock and just make a guy pass out when it's not even a headlock on the main roster, make a guy get pinned, or even close to get pinned, or tapped out, or pass out, it's just weird how they're booking the headlock. I guess Samoa Joe's submission pro or something like that. I haven't really seen too much of his work other places or at all, but from what people say, he's a good wrestler. I haven't seen that because all I've seen is squash matches, but that's just me. And I believe it was the Finn Balor match next. I think it was the Finn Balor match. The guy was, I think they just grabbed the first guy they saw of a mental institution. They're like, yeah, come in. Kind of look like Kane. I mean, might kill one of her wrestlers, but you're a mix between Joey Mercury and Kane. So just get out there, do your best. Maybe you'll die or kill someone. Who knows? Whatever. But I thought it was just going to be a squash match, which it's hard for faces to get squash matches without looking like a bad guy because they're just finishing off a guy. But it was a pretty good match, actually. I mean, with Kane 2.0 out there wrestling. But Finn Balor, he needs to wrestle good matches. I understand that NXT is trash right now because they're not putting on good matches with the best guys they have on the roster. They're just putting together good matches with the divas. But put these wrestlers that can actually wrestle in good matches. I like watching divas. They're the best thing on the NXT roster right now. But we gotta have actual wrestlers who can wrestle. And that's all I gotta say about that. So, after the match, Owens tries to attack Finn Balor, and Finn Balor escapes, and then he runs to hit something, I don't know what, and Kevin Owens picked him up for the pump-up powerbomb, and Kevin Owens held the title up high and then just dropped it on Finn Balor. I don't even know what's going to happen, because Kevin Owens isn't getting booked right at all on the main roster, but at the same time, I feel like they're going to make him on the main roster stay. Hopefully that means Finn Balor lost to Hideo Itami. That way Hideo gets the title, we get to see more of Hideo, and Finn Balor gets to go on the main roster where Hideo can shine on NXT. And the Vaudevillains were backstage saying how they're gonna face the tag team champions. I don't even know what their names are. But the Vaudevillains nor the tag team champions really entertain me. I don't like dubstep. I don't like circuses. I don't like cowboys. Whatever this gimmick is. The only thing in this match that is going to keep my interest is Alexa Bliss. Hopefully she strips or something. That'd be nice. I can just imagine it now. Good times. Good times. And so the main event comes up, and it's Bayley versus Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks is on commentary. And this was match of the night easily. If you're going to watch one match on the show, or any NXT show, I can almost guarantee the main event's the only thing worth watching at all. But Sasha Banks, her commentary was meh. It's better than John Cena, but not as good as Cesaro or Titus O'Neil. I just like Titus O'Neil on commentary so he can rip JBL a new butthole. But Sasha Banks was kind of funny. And Bayley had a broken hand that she came back from, So she was wrestling with a brace kind of thing on it. And smart thing was Becky Lynch went after it a lot, which that was good. So it made it actually seem like it was a real match. And so at one point, Becky Lynch had her armbar, I think that's what it's called, on Bayley. But every single time someone has that, Becky Lynch has that move on, they're always close to the ropes. And there's no way they're going to get out of it if they're not close to the ropes unless someone interferes. So, yeah, Bayley got out of that, and she hit her finishing move to win. And I was really glad that they gave this to Bayley instead of Becky Lynch, because if I'm not mistaken, Becky Lynch has faced Sasha Banks in the past. And it was a good match, but I feel like Bayley versus Sasha Banks is going to be on a whole new level. I don't understand why, but Bayley has really captured my attention as someone who's entertaining and just fun to watch. I mean, if I was in the audience, I'm not much of a hugger, but I would hug her. I mean, she's not like hot like Alexa Bliss, and she's not like fierce like Sasha Banks or Charlotte. She's just cuddly and cute. But yeah, so I'm really excited. Well, before I mention anything about TakeOver in Brooklyn, I have to mention the thing that they kept plugging after every single match, after every single commercial break. The Liger versus Tyler Breeze match. It might be good. It probably will be. But do you need to mention it like more than the main event? I think the main event only got one title screen. The Liger versus Tyler Breeze probably got like 1,000 at least. So, I mean, it might be a good match, but advertise the main event more than something that's not the main event. You can't have something more hype than what's supposed to go on last on the show. I mean, just look at the John Cena match. That's being hyped up more than the Brock Lesnar Taker match, which is going to go on last and sell the most tickets. It's crazy what WWE logic is nowadays. And I believe that was all, if I'm not mistaken. Overall, each match, what do I give it? I give the Solomon Crowe versus Ty Dillinger match a 5.4. Wouldn't say it's 5.5 because it wasn't. And Baron Corbin versus local competitor, probably 10 out of 10. Or maybe, probably a 1 out of 10. That's more realistic. And the Finn Balor match, I was probably a 6.3. And the Bayley Becky Lynch match, probably a 8. It was really, really good in my opinion. But if you're going to check out this NXT event, don't watch it at all. Just pirate the video on YouTube of the main event. That's the only thing worth watching at all. So, for my co-host, J. Brad, this is good evening and good night.